Cool. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. As always, make sure to let us know. Let me take this, adjust the volumes. I'm getting an echo.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Is it coming through on your phone?
It was, but it's not anymore.
There you go. Okay, cool. So, guys, as we said, we're streaming in 3 places. And so we're working through some of the kinks on those. And one of the kinks is hopefully I'm sounding good on Clubhouse there. So I'm going to keep an eye on Clubhouse here. What I need to do, I just figured this out, Robbie. What I need to do is because I'll just share the setup with you guys because I know I got asked about it last time and there's some issues.
It kind of fits with the theme today too. So
it does. We're talking about our top 10 favorite online marketing tools. So, hey, Brandon, what's up? Brandon Utley is on Clubhouse here. So we've got this microphone, this setup here, and this camera is going through Facebook and YouTube using Be Live. This Clubhouse, what I've figured out I need to do, and let me go grab this. I've actually got a tool for that.
And this one tool is on our resources page. So
this tool is not on our resources page.
I thought you were grabbing.
This is called Lift, and I got this as a gift. I never thought I would use it, to be honest with you. So for Brandon on Clubhouse, it's just this little thing. You plug it right here on your phone, and then you can attach it. So I could attach it to the monitor, or to like the tripod right here. I could actually attach that, and I'm not going to do that now because you guys don't want to really sit there watching the side of me attaching that. So I'm just going to put it here. But I just thought about that for future reference, Robbie. I could take this little thing. I mean, this probably costs 30 cents to make. I don't even know how much these cost. But you guys can just Google like Lift. Oh, here it is. Something Product Factory. Hip Product Factory makes these. And you could take this, just plug it on the side of your monitor and keep an eye on who's joining you on Clubhouse. So now you can stream across multiple platforms. So that's how we're doing it. So that's our first tool that we were not planning on talking about.
Bonus tool.
On our favorite online marketing tools. And it's a really cool little thing that I never thought I would use. Like I said, I got it as a gift about a year ago, and it sat on my desk. And here's what I've used it as, to be honest with you. I use it to go like this. I just use it as almost like a stress ball.
It's your stress
toy, and then the audio for Clubhouse is going through these headphones that go into the phone, because if I don't use headphones, then the the phone was relaying the audio and picking up a kind of a reverb. So anyway, speaking of Clubhouse, make sure you follow me on Clubhouse if you're on there. It's just at Matt McWilliams. And we're doing this every week on Clubhouse as well as here. And we'll be doing some extra Clubhouse sessions as well. If you need a Clubhouse invite and you're on an iOS device, text me at 260-217-4619. I actually just got a few more Clubhouse invites. We did run out as we expected. I think that was 2 weeks ago that we talked about that, Robbie. Yeah. And we ran out of Clubhouse invites in 8 minutes or so. But I did get a few more. I got 2 or 3 more. I think 3 more for no apparent reason. I literally have no idea why I get more.
Yeah.
Why anybody does.
Got to be some algorithm there, but I haven't figured it out yet.
It's like the Facebook algorithm. Hey, Daryl Vesterfelt is joining us on Clubhouse. So what we're doing today is we're sharing my top 10 favorite tools for online business in 2021. All of these tools are at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox, except for 1, maybe 2 that we're working on adding, unless Robbie's added them in the past few days. I don't know. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, maybe they're all at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. Speaking of this, of updating my resources page, as a matter of fact, I updated my ultimate guide to creating a resources page, which is what you'll find on our toolbox page there. At mattmcwilliams.com/resources page. We just updated this guide in the past week or two. So if you go to mattmcwilliams.com/resources page, you can download the free guide to creating a resources page there. Before we jump in, let me know if you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know where you're joining us from. I see Eric and Brandon and Marcia. Marcia, you're right. It's been a while. We used to see you all the time, and so it's good to have you back. So let me know where you're joining us from. We always like to just keep an eye on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to share my top 10 favorite tools for online business. These are in no particular order. And Daryl, I think there's one especially you might like. Maybe I think it's number 2. You'll like. At least I think you'll like it. I can't remember. I don't know if you're still there or not. And for those of you on Clubhouse, and Robbie will jump in periodically and share this with you, we are streaming live multiple places. And what we're going to do is we're going to share what we have to share. And then at the very end, we're going to jump over on Clubhouse and stay here for just a few minutes on Clubhouse, and we'll invite you up. So if you have any questions, you can jump on there. Otherwise, you can join us over on the Facebook and YouTube feeds. Just go to mattmcwilliams.com/TAG live. That's tag live. The affiliate guy is the acronym there. Just go there and you can join us and drop your comments in the chat there. So the very first tool, and before I do that, hi, Brandon, Eric, and Tim as well. Good to see you guys. Icy Maryland. Yeah, we have 2.5 feet of snow here, so I don't want to hear it. I know they got slammed in Philly too, Marcia. Well, cool. So the first tool is my go-to graphic creation tool. It's called Canva. Many of you have heard of it. Of course, many of you probably use it. I was sharing with somebody yesterday, I don't use it as much because I don't create nearly as many graphics now that we actually have a graphic designer. His name is Jim Folsom. He uses Canva. This is a professional graphic designer that is really good at what he does. The thing I like about Canva is that even if you have no design skills whatsoever, you can use it. They literally have probably thousands now. They have thousands of templates for literally every type of design you can imagine. So you can be like, I want to do a Facebook page. So I did one the other day. We're running Stu McLaren's Tribe launch, as many of you know, and I wanted to wish one of the guys, one of the affiliates, a happy birthday in the group. And so I literally just went to Canva, picked Facebook post, typed the word birthday, replaced the picture of the girl with his picture because that would have been weird. Typed Paul instead of like Amber, and I was done. Oh, and I put the Tribe logo, which took all of 3 seconds. I think the graphic from start to finish took me about 75 seconds.
Right. And it's got all the, if you do change things, it's got it aligns everything for you. All the snap to grids.
That's what I love.
Makes it super simple. It's all the spacing around the edges, all of it. It's just, it makes it so anybody can draw, Well,
the other thing is that I love about it is you can take a Twitter image and turn it into a Facebook post, turn it into an Instagram post, and turn it into a Pinterest post in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and again, if you have a lot of moving parts, and I don't mean literally animated, but a lot of, a lot of different graphics on there, a lot of different parts. When you switch from Twitter to Facebook to whatever, you got to adjust a few of them. But I would say if I wanted to create a birthday image for Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest total, it would take me an extra 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. You just literally go to resize and pick the new thing. So super, super love Canva. Again, even though I'm not the one doing the graphics anymore, I absolutely love it. I love Eric's comment about April 22nd, April 22nd. That is when Stu McLaren's Tribe launch begins. Even sooner. If you're an affiliate, the promotion starts sooner. So even though, where's my hat? Do I have a hat? I don't have a hat. I do have a hat. I just don't know where. Oh, here it is. So, I even have the hat. Proof that Stu's launch starts on April 22nd, at least publicly. So you guys stay tuned for that date. But affiliates, it starts sooner. And then, like Eric says, so simple, even Matt can use it, or even a Matt can use it. And that is true. Robbie would be the first to admit he is not a graphic designer, and yet he uses Canva periodically for our stuff, and it's like that. Yeah. So I get complimented all the time on our graphics. And they're like, why do you do it? I'm like, Canva. It's really easy. So again, all these links are at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox for Canva. And for our next tool, ConvertKit. Now, ConvertKit is our email provider. I was on MailChimp, I'm sad to admit, for quite some time. We had major issues with MailChimp, but we love ConvertKit. It is, we found that like one of the things I love about it is like, we also use other stuff like Lead Pages and ClickFunnels and a new system that I'll get to talk about soon. I'm excited to share with you guys because we're involved with it. We use those other things, but then you have to connect that to ConvertKit, to MailChimp or whatever. I love it because if you just need like a quick landing page, you can actually do it in ConvertKit. And I know we've done that a few times, Robbie, where
we have, yeah.
We didn't need a super fancy funnel. We just needed
if you need a waitlist page or anything. And again, like Canva, it's got all the templates and everything built in. So you just jump in, select the theme you want, change the colors, update a few pictures, add your text, and boom, you've got a landing page that's collecting leads immediately.
Yeah, and it's not going to be like, again, super fancy landing page. It's not going to be like, there's not a funnel, with the ConvertKit landing page. But if you want to just use one tool and you want to get it up and running quick, I was writing about this in my new book, The Passion to Profit Path, that'll be coming out in about a year or so. I was just writing about this. Like, you should be able in 4 hours or less and create the landing page and the opt-in form if you use ConvertKit. You should be able to do all of that in less than 4 hours. Is it going to be the world's greatest lead magnet? Of course not. Is it going to be the best converting lead magnet? Of course not. But is it going to get you some subscribers to start with, which is better than none? Absolutely. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is like, well, I got to have it perfect. Okay, how many subscribers are you getting every day by having no lead magnet while trying to make it perfect? You're getting none. Have a mediocre, or as James Kalita, one of our students, says, have a crappy lead magnet.
Right.
Have a crappy lead magnet. We're going to keep this family friendly. I'm going to quote Anne Lamott, and she talks about everything you ever write should have a crappy first draft. Okay? Should have a crappy first draft. She says something else. But it's true. Like your first lead magnet, your first landing page, your first opt-in form should kind of suck. Why? Because you got it up quickly. You can optimize it over the course of even just a week. You can put a crappy one up on Monday, and on Thursday afternoon, put up a better one that converts better. But just get it up running. So we believe ConvertKit is the best way to do that. When you sign up through my link, which again, you can find all the links at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. When you sign up there, you can get a 30-day free trial, which is awesome because actually it's free now. No, they just changed this.
They just changed it.
1,000 subscribers. Free up to 1,000 subscribers, guys.
There are some limits, like you don't get the automations.
Okay,
but
which is fine.
Yeah, you get some basic tagging, and you get the forms, you get the landing pages, you get broadcast emails, you get all of that up to 1,000. I think. The rate is $29 a month right now for the 1,000 with all the features. So it's still incredibly inexpensive.
Yeah, I think it's like $20 per 1,000 subscribers, roughly, is how it works out up to a certain point, and then it starts to go down per 1,000.
Yeah.
But if you just think about that, for free, you can have up to 1,000 subscribers. If you make even 25 cents a subscriber, which would be really low, per month, you're making $250 a month paying nothing. That's pretty cool. So, or like Robbie said, even if you just upgrade and pay the $30 a month, you're going to spend 30 to make 250. It's probably more like spend 30 to make 1,000 roughly. That's pretty cool. Maybe you spend 30 to make 1,500. Then of course, as you grow, you're going to pay a little bit more, which, it's kind of like taxes. I don't like paying taxes any more than anybody. But as long as the tax rate stays the same, my goal next year is to pay more in taxes. I want to pay 10 times more in taxes next year than I pay right now, provided that the actual percentage doesn't go up.
Right.
That's a whole different discussion because they're spending like drunken sailors right now. Oh, Dave Ramsey says, who do you think you are, Congress? So my third tool, so we talk about Canva, ConvertKit. I promise you these all don't start with C, but actually we'll do one that doesn't start with C. Repurpose. This is the coolest new tool that I found in some time. We use Repurpose. So it literally takes our podcasts and our Facebook Lives and automatically turns them into YouTube videos, automatically posts podcast clips to Twitter, takes all kinds of content and just like spits it out, right? Love it. Absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely one of the best tools we've used in a long time. Saves us thousands of dollars a year, gets our content a lot more exposure. Again, the link is same as the other places, all mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. Just look for the Repurpose link. This is really cool because it basically replaces, having to hire a part-time VA who might spend an hour or two a week doing some stuff. It's taking these podcasts and moving them over here and doing this. And we've removed some of the stuff. Like we no longer take the Facebook Lives and turn them into YouTube videos because we're now streaming on YouTube. And so it just automatically becomes a YouTube video. We no longer take the podcast and automatically put it on YouTube. We actually turn those in. We do that using a service called Headliner, which I don't think I'm going to talk about today, but just brief shout out to them because we love that. But it's still, I think we pay maybe $100 a year for Repurpose and just saves us an astronomical amount of money. So we love Repurpose. Tool number 4, man, I should have brought it over here. Oh, here's one.
I was going to say, this is one that you just got into.
It is, and I have a crap ton of them because my friend Mike Hyatt gave me a bunch of them, and I never used them. But now I am, and I'm going to tell you, I just started using this, Robbie. I started using it at the beginning of this year. It's called the Full Focus Planner. This one is like if I make the sound, it's, what would you call this? What cover is this?
I think this is their most basic version.
Yeah.
But they have
basic version is freaking sweet though.
Right. Yeah. But they have all kinds of elite versions and leather versions and spiral versions and
yeah. Hang on. This one. This one here is the one that I use now. The black.
Oh, the elite or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This one, I just like, sometimes I just want to rub my face against it. It's so, this one I would use this with sandpaper. So here's what it is. I use this as an example. Just go through, there's a quarterly preview in there. So it's a paper planner, right? Let me take you back actually. So this used to be these right here. I have one on my desk because my kids were in the studio earlier today. I used to use 20 to 30 Post-it notes a day. I have one in here. Yep, for next week as a reminder because I added it because I'm not sure what day I'm going to end up doing the task. I have used exactly one Post-it note in the previous 4 weeks for anything work related. I still write notes to like my kids on the Post-it notes and put those. That's different. I had notes I've got notes in here. I've got notes in there. I've got all kinds of notes. I now have 3 things. I have my journal, my Full Focus journal. I have my Full Focus notebook. It's just a notebook. I mean, there's actually, to be quite honest, really nothing fancy about that, but it kind of just comes free when you purchase the other 2. So I took it. But that's very specific things. I've got a notebook. I've got a notebook for client A, a notebook for client B, a notebook for when I'm meeting with, so-and-so. So all these different notebooks, right? What I love about this planner is that I'm going to start with the very, very beginning. So it's got some places. I never had an evening routine. I've always had a morning routine, but I never had an evening routine until I started using this planner, and it had me go through and actually plan my evenings. My evening thing is very simple. In case anybody's curious, I clean and do any household chores that I need to do. It usually takes about 30 minutes just after we put the kids to bed. I do my planning and my journaling. I do a devotional and a little bit of reading, most of the time. I don't always do the reading part because sometimes I just don't want to, and I want to watch TV with my wife. I write my notes every. I do my stretching, and then I get like my supplements and my coffee and all that stuff ready for the morning. So all I have to do is boil the water, add a little bit of cream, voila, coffee's done. So I write all that in there, and I go through here, just writing that out and having that there. There's something weird. It's like just having it there is really, really helpful. But the big thing that I got out of this, Robbie, and this is crazy, I'm going through looking at all these check marks, and it's so cool, is number one, the weekly preview. So you start your weekly preview with your wins, and you don't have to use this planner. I just find that having this was kind of a lesson I was sharing earlier. I just find that spending $40 on a planner makes me use it better. And I don't know if they're $40. They might be like 35, but they're not cheap. But you list your wins. You talk about how far you got on your big 3 projects for that week, what worked and what didn't. This after action review is so powerful. What will you keep, improve, start, or stop doing? What's your weekly overview? What are your big 3? So my big 3 for this week, where I wanted to write 5,000 words in the Passion to Profit Path book. Just as a side note, killed through that, and it's only Thursday. I killed through it yesterday, actually. Massive recruiting push for 2 of our clients, and I wanted to finish 1 week ahead on our content, which is all of our content. Well, I accomplished that too, Robbie, because we're like 2 weeks ahead right now. But here's what I do. Every week or every day, I have my big 3. And I only have 3 things. Occasionally, like today, I have a note to send a couple of messages. These are like 3-minute tasks. Send a message about failed payments to Mary and remind, Mary and Tara that we need to process refunds and ClickFunnels too. I have a reminder to Skype a potential affiliate. And this one, which will probably keep getting put down here for about 8 weeks until I finally do it. Call the IRS. As they often are. And so the full focus planner, to answer your question, Kat, which again, you can find the link for that at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. I have my big 3 on here. And so I used to have this habit. Robbie knows I've got 74 things to do today. And so how many things get done when you have 74 things to do? 1, if I'm lucky, probably 0. I told him the other day, I went back and looked. I can keep going. I'm already back I'm back there. I mean, guys, this is the reason you hear. Okay. 2-2. I did not finish recording all the podcast episodes I intended to record on February 2nd. Today's February 18th. I did not put today's date in here yet.
So let me just ask you a question on this, man. Like,
what's that?
I said, let me ask a question. You and I were talking recently about this, and just what shift has occurred as you have this planner, as you're doing things analog as well as digital?
Oh my gosh. I get why it's called the full focus planner. Like the level of focus I have to get those 3 things done. And these are all like, today, number 2 on here. So the first one was write 1,000 words in my book, which I did. The second one was I have 5 podcast episodes to record start for the following week through basically through the early part of March. And then I have some follow-ups with some prospective affiliates, right? Those are my big 3 things. That's it. That's all I'm going to do today. Plus this would be like my 4th thing. But I typically prioritize these as tasks, that need to be done. Sometimes I'll put 2. There are a couple days in here, like last Thursday, we had, I literally had 5 calls. Plus we did, the webinar with Alan, with Chad. And then I had another meeting with a client. I had 4.5, 5 hours of stuff. I was only getting 2 things done. They were 2 big things though. Write 1,000 words in my book and come up with a recruiting plan, for our clients' affiliates. It's like just that level of focus and having that right there all day long, like, and checking those things off as I do them, has just been so powerful. And so I was sharing this with somebody earlier. 2 things that come to mind. Number 1, thanks, Dave. Yeah. Do you have this shirt too? So number one, I started doing this right before we kind of hit a really busy season. We picked up a couple of clients, and I was able to get into the kind of the rhythm of doing this so that despite being busier than I've probably ever been, my wife and I had a talk about a month ago when we decided to pick up an extra client that we weren't planning on. We had no intention of, but we felt it was right for our business. And normally when we do that and we know we're going to be busy, we have that talk like, okay, you understand that means I'm going to be working like some nights and possibly like some Saturday afternoons, right? Yeah, we totally understand. The kids are going to see a little bit less of daddy. It's for a season, 4 to 8 weeks, not a big deal. So far this year, I've worked 45 minutes in the evening, not including the day where I actually purposely spent like 3 hours not working in the middle of the day to go do some stuff with the family. I've had one day where I just didn't finish what I was supposed to do that day. Just one day. That's what it's done for me.
I think that really
huge.
Demonstrates the discipline of, having a system and just putting a system in place and being able to use it. That in and of itself will create that habit, which gives you that freedom, which you're describing there. So that's awesome.
So I can't speak highly enough of it. I was sharing with that same person I was talking to earlier. The ironic thing, and this is true about Michael Hyatt, it's true of anything. I've known Michael for years. He was a client. He's become a friend. I've spent a lot of time with him. This one here, the one I shared earlier, he gave this one to me. I have another one upstairs that he gave to me. This one he actually, no, this is not the one. It's the other one that he wrote in it. I had a copy of his, I had his courses. It wasn't until I paid him money to join his coaching program. And now I didn't get a free planner. I paid for this, and I paid for my journal, and I paid for those notebooks, and I paid for his course and his books. Once I did that, I was like drinking from a fire hose, and it became a discipline. And I was committed to learning the best way to use this and to go through it and, make sure like every night I journal. I say like 13 out of 14 nights I journal. I use this every day. I wake up. It's one of the first things I see when I go to, it's one of the last things I do every night. Like I said earlier, there's something about making that investment. Whatever it is, you make that investment and suddenly, things get real. I can't remember the last time. There are books I haven't gotten to yet, but I will. But I can't remember the last time. I don't think I have a single book that I paid for more than a year ago that I haven't read yet. I have a whole collection, a whole stack of books that were sent to me for free that I haven't read. Well, I don't value them. I just don't.
What was it that said, "Those who pay attention"?
That's one of our students, and I wish I could remember who it was. John Workman. John Workman. Those who pay attention. So, speaking of tools, our next favorite tool is, this is my new favorite toy. It's called Community. It's not one that I've talked about much, so I don't even know if we have this up.
No, we don't.
Okay, if you go to mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox, you won't see Community on there, but you'll see pretty much every other tool.
Might be exclusive invite only, I think, right?
It is. I think they're thinking of opening it up. I think you can actually go and apply.
Yeah.
And they'll get in touch with you like 9 months from now. But I was invited by somebody, and even when I was invited by somebody, I think it still took about 4 or 5 months for them to reach out to me.
Yeah.
That just gives you some perspective. Like I'd kind of forgotten about it. Like I just assumed I wasn't going to get in. Then I got an email from them. So you want to find out how Community works, send a text to 260-217-4619. That's my text community. So we send exclusive content, whether it be just some deep thoughts with Matt McWilliams, a quote, something, maybe it's an idea I had or a little test that I did. I mean, there's a message, there's exclusive content for my text community that we don't share anywhere else. of course, I'll remind you of things like our Facebook Lives and, new podcasts that I particularly like. But make sure you join that. You'll see how it works. 260-217-4619. Just text me. What it will do is it'll send you a request to to submit to add me to your contacts, and then you'll add me to your contacts, and everything I send you just comes through as a text message. So the open rates are like 99.9%. We've had like a whole total of 2 people unsubscribe. It's been really, it's been fun, and I just enjoy it because when I send an email, I feel like I have to think. I feel like I have to think about what I'm going to say. And no, Marcia, you do not have to have iOS to use Community. It's just as long as you have a phone that can send and receive texts, you can join our text community. So I like when I send an email, it's an email, right? It's like I have to think through it. What do I want to say? With Community sometimes, and I would never think of like typing an email on my phone personally. Not an email that's going to go on my list. I'm not like a thumb, especially since I did something, either arthritis or something else in my left thumb. Did I tell you about that? Like my thumb locks up and I can't even, like, it just has to stay straight for hours at a time until I pop it back in place. Should probably go to the doctor, but I'm a dude. So I'm like, whatever, it'll be fine. Soak it in some tussin, right? And anyway, so I can literally just open the app and send a text, everybody. And it just, it's sometimes I'm like, literally the other day I was on a walk and I was just like, I want to say this. And so I sent like a 45-second audio message to everybody on my platform. That's something I would never do in any other method. So it's not more intimate. That's why I like it. It's very, very intimate. So again, just text me 260-217-4619. All right. My next favorite tool is called Read It For Me. On average, I estimate I read about 2 to 3, 2.5 books every single week. Now we're talking, that's not, actually I take that back. I read a lot more than that because I also listen to full audio books. I'm not talking biographies, fiction, or history. I'm talking like entrepreneurship, marketing, leadership, personal development, right? That's in addition to like, just so far this week, I've already listened to like 4 hours of Andrew Carnegie's autobiography. And I've listened to about 2 hours of another book, and I'm almost finished with what's the one of the Gulag Archipelago. Have you ever read that by chance?
I haven't, but I've read excerpts from it.
Oh my gosh, that book is mind blowing. Just as that totally. We're going to take this train over here. We're going to chase this rabbit for a second. The Gulag Archipelago, guys, it's really messed up what happened, but it's a really good book. So I'll get back on track here. So these are just like marketing, right? How do I do that? Read it for me. Okay. I have a friend of mine named Steve Cunningham who runs the website. Basically, it summarizes it and gives you all the gold nuggets in the book. So what would normally take you, let's say, a 5-hour audiobook, you can pretty much get the gist of it in 20 minutes, get the bullet points in 20 minutes. So I'm able to literally get like 40 to 50 times the information in the amount of time it would take me. I can basically consume 40 to 50 books in the amount of time it would take me to consume 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. So Steve has a super special offer just for my followers, by the way, because he's a friend of mine. So again, if you go to mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox, read it for me. Everything I'm talking about today, except Community, because we haven't added that yet. Everything we're talking about today, you can find that at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. Go get the deal on Read It For Me. I don't even know what the deal is. It's something insane.
Right now, the deal is a lifetime membership. Plus, you get to give away 10 one-year memberships for only $99.
Okay, when I signed up, this is before Steve was a friend. I think I paid $199 a year. It might have only been $100 a year. So for what I paid for 1 year, now I will admit I'm friends with Steve now, so I have a free account. But I'm almost positive I paid $199. But even as so, for equal to or half the price of what I paid for just 1 year, you get a lifetime membership. And you said 10?
Yeah. 10 one-year memberships.
1-year memberships. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So go take advantage of that, guys. It's like if you get nothing else out of today, go sign up for Read It For Me because it's amazing. Again, if you want to create a page that brings in passive income, like my toolbox page that we've been talking about, I just updated my ultimate guide to creating a resources page for 2021. You can find that at mattmcwilliams.com/resources page. So make sure you go download that, look at my toolbox page, model yours after mine, and make sure you create that. All right. So my next favorite tool, it's our 9th host that I've ever used. So I've used pretty much every other host that's out there. That's not true. There's like a million hosts, but I've used 9. Agathon is by far the best. They are my favorite host by a factor of about 2 billion. I mean, they are so awesome. Like, we love them. Their service is amazing, right? Their downtime is practically non-existent. I can't remember the last time our website was down. No. I get a report. I get a report emailed to me every month. I think it was 2 Marches ago, because it was right after list launch. So it would have been like 2 February or Marches ago. It's almost 2 years. And it was down for like 27 minutes. So for 27 minutes out of the past 2 years, our website is down.
Yeah.
We love them. Like, I'll just give you an example why we love them. If I want to register a new domain and set up WordPress, I literally send an email and send it to support@agathongroup.com, I think. I just type in SU and it's the first thing that pulls up because I email them a lot. And I say, hey, I'd like to buy the domain name, your affiliate launch coach. Can you set up a new WordPress installation on that? They email me back and they say, done. And oh, by the way, because I always forget to ask, we also set up your common plugins, and we set up, you put an SSL certificate on there, and like 2 other things, that they always do.
Yeah, their support is off the charts. It's like, I've worked customer support before. That's one of the things I really look for in a company. And the fact is, sometimes, actually several times when we've emailed support, if they're busy or something, one of the owners is the one who emails us back. Yeah. So like, they really care about their customers.
They're amazing. I literally can't say enough good things about them. Same kind of thing. Like, we have a login. I actually had to log in about a month ago for the first time in over a year.
Yeah.
And it was to do something that I probably could have texted them about, but I kind of felt bad. And it turned out that I ended up not being able to figure it out, and just text and email them and said, can you do this? And like 2 minutes later or 2 hours later, whatever, within a few minutes, boom, done. It's just amazing. Like I said, anything, we get updates from them. They're like, if the website starts running a little slow, it's, on the back end. Do you remember this, Robbie? I'll tell you this story about Agathon. This is like the greatest story about them. Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. So our back end in WordPress was just running slow on a couple of things. Doesn't matter what it was. It was just, I felt like it could be faster. The website was fine. Like, if you're front facing, you're kind of trying to go to our website, everything was fine, but it was just operating on it was just slow. And I emailed Peter, who's the CEO, and I said, hey, this is what's happening. Is there anything you guys can do? And he's like, yeah, I'll look into it. But a day goes by and he's like, hey, just want to let you know, I'm still looking into it. Another day, hey, I'm still looking into it. Just want to let you know I haven't forgotten you. So he emails like 2-3 days later and says, okay, I did this. How is it? And I'm like, it's not better, actually. He's like, yeah, well, okay. How about this? Nope, not better. And he's like, well, gosh, I'm looking at the stuff. It just doesn't, I don't know. He was like, I really don't know why it's moving slow, but we'll and I finally just said, dude, it's really not that big of a deal. It's taken us, it adds like 2 minutes to our week.
Right.
It's just, don't worry about it. It's probably a conflict between 2 plugins. Not something on their end. It's totally nothing they do. All right, as far as I'm concerned, it's over and done with. It was marginally faster. I'd say it was like 30% faster. I don't know, Robbie, a week goes by, a few days, and I get an email from him. He says, hey, I just couldn't let this go. I've been thinking about it for days, and I just had to figure it out for you. I figured out the problem. And it was Do you remember what it was? I don't even remember. I think it was conflict plugins.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Well, it was something that wasn't their fault. It wasn't a fault in their server. It was a fault in the way we had things set up, and he fixed it. Or maybe he asked permission to fix it. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's like, "Can I do this?" And we're like, "Yes, please."
Yes, please.
And then within a couple hours, it was done, and our site was like 10 times faster.
Yeah. So I will just say Agathon. And again, you can find the link at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. There's a reason why we recommend them. We don't recommend anybody else. Are there cheaper solutions? Absolutely. They're not the cheapest. I think we pay $30 more than we paid for our previous host. I can tell you I've paid twice as much for a lot less reliability and quality, though. A lot worse service.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've spent more than 4 minutes of my personal time to ever solve a problem with Agathon. If you've ever been on hold for an hour with your host, or even 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or you've ever done live chat with them and you've dealt with that, just imagine, you have to kind of ask yourself. For me, I ask myself, what's an hour of my time worth? It's worth the extra money we pay. I'll say that. All right. Next favorite tool is called Meet Edgar. This is how we schedule most of our social media posts for LinkedIn and Twitter. We don't use it for Facebook, even though you can, because using a third party to post to Facebook, your reach is going to be dramatically lower. So we schedule them natively in Facebook. But there has not been any data that shows that it reduces your reach on Twitter or LinkedIn. So we use it. Super easy to bulk schedule messages. I think I shared this before, but I'll kind of walk you through how we do it. What I do is, let's just say we have what was the podcast? What podcast is coming out tomorrow? Dave Jackson. So we got Dave Jackson, how to start, grow, and monetize your podcast, I think, is the podcast coming out tomorrow. What I will do is I will send my assistant, I will write 5 or 6 tweets for him to schedule. He will then take those tweets and create variations of those tweets. So for instance, if I wrote, "It was so awesome to interview at," I think his Twitter handle is at Dave Jackson, but I could be wrong, at Dave Jackson, about how to start, grow, and monetize your podcast. You can listen here, link, right? If that's what I wrote, he would take that and change the word amazing. Did they say amazing or awesome? Don't know. He would change the word awesome to amazing, or amazing to awesome, or so fun, or I might even add so amazing, so awesome. Right there, we have like 6 variations that I just named, possibly 10 or 12. He would then tweak a few things. He might say I enjoyed. That might be another one he could use. Mm-hmm. He might just change it to that very particular version. He would change the colon to a finger emoji. Then he would add 2 finger emojis, then 3 finger emojis. Then he moved the link down. Those variations prevent you from getting a duplicate content penalty from Twitter. So in a matter of minutes, we went from 1 tweet to 30 versions. I will write 5 distinct versions, sometimes 6 or 7 if I feel inspired, but usually about 5. From that, he will create between 130 and 180 variations, and he will just go add them all to Meet Edgar, and then we have a schedule, and it filters those out over time. So what I understand is their algorithm favors things that were just added. So since we're just adding those tweets, they will mention them more in the first couple of weeks. And then just every week or 2, it'll send out a tweet about that podcast. Well, there's 150 for Dave Jackson, but there's 136 remaining for the previous one and 132 remaining for the previous one. We literally have, I think we're approaching 5,000 tweets in our queue just for podcast episodes. And so we don't have to worry about those things. Like, we're going to be promoting podcast episodes for years without adding anything new. And so it does it all for yourself. It's all bulk stuff. You can also do things that say, don't start it until this date. So we can load them now, but not start them until the episode is live tomorrow. If I do a podcast episode that is sensitive to time, then I can expire them. So when I did my whole podcast series over the holidays about your affiliate program for the holidays, I wanted to expire those, of course, around December 20th, And so we did less. I think I wrote like 4 versions and he created like 15 versions of each, so we only did 60. But we then took those and guess what? We're going to start running them again next late October through about December 20th. And then we're going to run them again for next late October through December 20th. We can go in and schedule all those years in advance, and it creates a schedule. So Meet Edgar is absolutely amazing. We just love it for managing social media. Like I said, everything's on mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox, as you see on your screen. You can go grab the link for that. Number 9, I believe. This is number 9. I don't have these numbers.
We're at 9.
9. Teachable. I want you to talk about this in a second because we're going to use this in some cool ways.
Yeah.
But Teachable is the platform we use for most of our courses. Actually, all of our courses now, isn't it?
We
moved every course.
We're still in the process of migrating, but
okay.
And
all of our flagship courses are over there, right?
Oh yeah.
List Launch Academy, No Product, No Problem, and Find Affiliates now are all on Teachable, right?
Yeah, all the big stuff and most of the smaller mini courses are. It's just a matter of finding all the courses we have.
We love Teachable. We've been able to do some really cool things like like quizzes and progress reports, like timed emails based on where students are. I mean, there's just so many things. Like we just love it. Like I said, we moved.
It integrates with ConvertKit well.
Yeah. So when we created Find Affiliates now, that we launched that on Teachable. I think List Launch Academy, we launched that on Teachable. But we recently moved our flagship course, No Product, No Problem, over to Teachable. And it's just so, Robbie. I mean, you're the one who uses it. What are some of the things that like you love about Teachable? Because I don't interact with it. I just hear good things about it from our students.
Well, some of the great things are you can add, all different types of content, and whether that's video, audio. Downloads, PDFs, all of it. And we have control over how that's used. Do we want it to be able to be downloaded for offline use? Do we want it to not? Do we want to make sure that the PDFs stay within our system? I don't know why you would do that, but we could. If we had something that, we wanted to make sure was proprietary, that didn't want to get published out to the internet or something like that. But overall, like it's incredibly easy to use as well. The fact that it integrates well with ConvertKit is a major win for us. And then one of the things which we've been doing recently is bundling. So you can add all your different bonuses. Like if you have bonus courses and stuff that you're adding,
good point.
We can just make that part of a bundle. And then automatically when somebody signs up for that course, all the bonuses are there for them with progress trackers. And, we can send out reminder emails like, hey, just wanted to remind you, you've got these bonuses. Don't forget to go through these. Hey, how's it going? Email us. Let us know, what you're struggling with in the course. So it creates this kind of feedback loop that we didn't have before.
That's a good point. I think we had a conversation yesterday that I'm really excited about because we're going to use Teachable for our internal training. I'll just go ahead and announce that because we haven't talked about that. So why not?
Yeah.
So I'll just give you guys a heads up. If you are interested in working with us, meaning literally actually get paid by us and be on our team as an affiliate manager. Now, you don't have to have any experience as an affiliate manager. In fact, to be quite honest, I'd rather you not. I'm not ruling out people who have some experience. Maybe they've worked, for a small company and learned from us, how to be an affiliate manager. If that's you, don't. When I say I don't want you to have had experience, don't let that detract you. But if you are interested in working with us as an affiliate manager, for now we don't have an official process because this is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks. So for now, send me a message, message me on Facebook or email me at matt@mattmcwilliams.com And I'd be interested in having a conversation with you and seeing about that. But where I was going with that is we're actually going to use Teachable, our course platform, for our training. So we'll take our courses and clone them. And then unlike the actual course, we're going to have a more stringent test, like after the lesson, we're going to have a stringent test where you got to answer some questions that may not just be like, okay, what's the answer to this thing you just learned? It might be more like, kind of an open-ended question.
Yeah, more
things like that.
Based.
Yeah, and we get to score those, based on what they've, how their quiz goes. And so there's some really cool things that we can do with Teachable that I'm excited about, Robbie, beyond just the fact that I think it's the best platform for courses. There's other platforms that I don't recommend just because I don't have experience with them that I don't think, based on what I've seen, are quite as good as Teachable, but they're still pretty good, like Thinkific and Kajabi. I'm telling you guys, Teachable is absolutely amazing. So if you have an online course or thinking about it, the other thing I love about it, it is ridiculously inexpensive, and I have no idea how they make money. So as a user, I got to be honest, I don't care, although I hope they're making enough money to survive, because if they're not making enough money, then our account will get shut down because they'll go out of business. So I'm hoping they're making just enough money off of us.
With the improvements we've seen lately, I'm pretty sure they're doing okay.
What was that?
I said with the improvements they're making.
Oh yeah.
I think that they're doing all right.
They either have they're either doing great with a ton of money, or they have a ton of investors. So, all right. So our last tool, and again, you can find all these tools at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. The last tool is called Simple Gmail Notes. If you have a team or an assistant, or even you just come to emails and you need to put a note in there as a reminder to yourself. We used to use a paid service for managing our emails. I won't mention what it is because I don't speak negatively of them in any way, shape, or form. It was about $1,000 a year. Also, the reason why I'm not mentioning their name right now is I can't remember the name of it. But I know a lot of people use this service. Basically, we're able to accomplish the same thing other than assigning emails. Just using, it's a plugin. What do you call that? An add-on for Gmail, for Chrome, called Simple Gmail Notes. So literally, it's, like I said, it's a plugin. You put it in your Gmail, and it puts a little thing up at the top where you can put notes in there. And so what will happen is when my assistant moves an email to my folder for me to personally look at, often what he'll do is he'll summarize the email so that I don't have to read 300 words. I can read 37 words, which saves me time. He'll put a note in there like, should I, if they're asking to schedule something, he'll just ask, should I schedule this? And I'll pop a note back at the top and say, yes, and move it back to the inbox. It keeps that email conversation in email, not over in Slack or elsewhere. Now, sometimes we move it over to Slack if it's more urgent. He does do that because he knows I'm notorious for not getting to my email quick enough. And so, but it allows me to put notes in there, like to read through and say, send the such and such canned response, and also make sure to add him to this list. Boom. And then he does that. It allows us to put notes in there for follow-up. So it's not the most efficient. I don't recommend doing it this way only, but I do occasionally leave an email in my inbox with a note that just says, follow up on February 20th. And I'll come to that and if I come to that on February 20th, I go, oh, I need to follow up, and I'll go check to make sure they haven't replied back, and I'll follow up. It just allows us to communicate inside of the email. For our support team, there are 3 different people who, and technically, Robbie, you might even have a reason to go in there periodically, if it's a techie question that they don't know how to answer. So we might have 4 people who go into the support inbox at any given time. And they have to be able to communicate with each other, but not go over to Slack. It's like, keep it right there. And so Kevin can put a note that says, emailed on February 18th, make sure to follow up on February 23rd, or I added them to the list of buyers. Mary, please update his Stripe profile with his new credit cards, something like that. Like they can communicate right there. It's all in one place. Simple Gmail notes. Like I said, it's I absolutely love it. So again, the links for everything: Canva, Meet Edgar. What do we talk about? Community. I'm already forgetting. Simple Gmail notes, Teachable. What are some of the other things we talked about today, Robbie? I can't even remember.
ConvertKit.
Purpose. Yeah. ConvertKit.
Read it for me. There.
Oh yeah.
The
Agathon. All those. Oh yeah. This guy right here. Love it, guys. I seriously would upgrade. Get the. It's only like $5 more. It's just some. Like I said, you just want to. Just use it as a pillow. It's super soft and fluffy. It's like a little cloud. It's a planner cloud. You can find all of them at mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. And if you want to create a page like that brings in passive income, like I mentioned earlier, I recently updated my ultimate guide to creating a resources page for 2021. You can find that at mattmcwilliams.com/resources page. And then one last note. Surprisingly today, I didn't mention anything about creating landing pages. Really, I kind of touched on it a little bit. I didn't talk about creating funnels. I didn't talk about affiliate systems. Like, how do you set up an affiliate program, right? Like, I'm the affiliate guy. You think I'd talk about that, right? There's a reason for that. I teased earlier. I'll tease it a little bit more. My team and I are working with another company that are, that in my opinion, have the best landing page website funnel builder on earth. I will say that. You probably haven't heard of them, though, because they primarily work with professionals like chiropractors and dentists and companies like that, not with like the online marketer types. I am a true believer in this company. We are working with them. We have a really cool deal with them. It's been in the works for about back in September, I think. So 6 months now, almost 5-6 months. And hopefully sometime in the next 60 days-ish, we will have an announcement where we can share something about them. They'll be able to build landing pages and funnels. And then later in the summer, we will be releasing what will absolutely, unequivocally, no doubt in my mind, be the best affiliate system on earth. There is no question about that, because we are taking my roughly 120-page dream list that I have been building. I'm not exaggerating, guys. I have been building this list since 2011. It is a 10-year-old list now. Everything I've ever wanted in running an affiliate program. We're going to put most of it, be a few things we probably don't get. We'll put most of it in this system, and you guys are going to be able to have access to the best affiliate tracking and affiliate management system that there is. So stay tuned for that. I cannot say more, and I mean that seriously, like legally, I cannot say more about it. But stay tuned, because it's going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. For that, I see Eric there on Clubhouse. We're going to stick around on Clubhouse for we literally only have like a minute and 30 seconds. So I'm going to punt on that, actually. Sorry, we are not going to stick around on Clubhouse and answer any questions. But make sure you follow us on Clubhouse. Follow me on Clubhouse at Matt McWilliams. Robbie, what's your username over there? Is it just at Robbie Miles? Yep, at Robbie Miles. Make sure you follow us on Clubhouse. For that, I see and we'll see you over there sometime, but not now, because we got to go. All right, guys, that's it. See you next week.